go through the Dbms database management system. Okay. So first, let me start off with introduction to Dbms. What do you mean by Dbms, right? So Dbms is nothing but it is a database system which is computer-based record keeping system, right? Like I was giving you example of your cupboard or maybe your fridge wherein you are storing the data, storing the items. Same way, when you have to do the record keeping in a computer system, what will you use? You will be using the DBMS, database management system. As it is written also, it is a collection of interrelated data, right? And the set of programs to store and access those data in easy and effective manner. So basically, if you talk about a database system, it should be a repository of the data needed for the organization. So the data has to be accurate, it has to be private, it has to be protected. Okay, so just to, all right. So basically what I was trying to tell you is this is what is a DBMS. When I really talk about DBMS, it refers to a software that is responsible for storing, maintaining, and utilizing the databases. So what all will be there in the database? It can be a relational database, hierarchical, file, so many things, objects. A database along with the DBMS is referred to as database system. Right? This is what I was trying to tell you. Now, DBMS allows the users to do the following task. What are these tasks? These tasks are data definition, data updation, retrieval, and user administration. Defining the data, right? That means you have to check, okay, if there is data which we have to write, we have to create, we have to, access it, search the data, search some item. So all these things comes into the DBMS things. When I talk about, see, this is all theory, you can all go through it. What are the characteristics? So as I told you, it uses a digital repository established on a server to store and manage the information. Definitely, it is a logical view. Yes, that's what we are trying to say. It is a structure. It is a logical view. How will you do the things? So yes, it is a logical view. If I talk about, it contains asset properties which maintain data in the healthy state in case of failure. What do you mean by asset over here? What is ma'am referring to? What do you think is asset? Anybody? It is atomicity. Okay, that was correct. What is the next thing? Consistency. Correct. Consistency. Okay. Third one, I stands for isolation, not integrity. Okay. And D is for your durability. Now I'll tell you what are these. Basically, what is logical? What is logical? Something which has a transactional value, right? For example, if I talk about a transaction which takes place, then atomicity means the entire transaction takes place at once. or doesn't happen at all. So that is atomicity. At once, if we are talking in the terms of transaction. Why transaction? Because that's what you do every day. Paytm or maybe Google Pay, I don't know what all channels you are using, but if you do it, either it happens or it doesn't happen. Either the payment is successful or it is not. Second is consistency. The database must be consistent before and after the transaction. It shouldn't be कि आपका डेटा में अगर 17 रिकॉर्ड्स हैं तो आफ्टर पेमेंट वो 17 रिकॉर्ड्स हट जाएंगे. No, that will not happen. It has to be a consistent data which you have to talk about. Okay, then you have isolation. What do you mean by isolation? Isolation means they occur independently. Isolate. You are independent without any interference. If something has to happen, a transaction has to happen, it will not depend. Okay, you have done a transaction for a TV amount, you have done a transaction. One transaction will take place. Isolated, independent. The other will not depend on the other one. Suppose you have done a shopping of 10,000 from Amazon. Okay, so maybe you feel ki, okay, I want to purchase a fifth item from it. So it will not depend ki, okay, if you've taken 4 or if you've done 4 transactions now, fifth will not happen. No, it will never happen. Multiple transactions can occur independently without interference. Suppose you have a car EMI also, house EMI also, you are doing shopping also. So will your bank say, no, current today car EMI is going, don't do shopping? No, it will not. So that is what it means by isolation. And the fourth one is durability. The changes of a successful transaction occurs even if the system failure occurs. What do you mean by that? Basically, for example, you did a transaction from an ATM, right? And what happens? It came that your account has been debited from 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees, but cash nahi aaya. The cash didn't came out of the ATM machine. So what happens? You will cry or what? No, you will call the, whatever the bank is. And what is the reply generally bank officials give you? That in 48 hours, the amount will be reversed in your bank account. Or 24 hours according to their protocols. So basically you are, in the safe environment, it is durable ki, okay, my money will not go anywhere. Somehow it will be credited back. Same goes for some shopping also. Suppose if you've done some shopping and what happens, you didn't like the product, you are returning the item. So item is also not there. Amount you've already paid. So what they do, they say, okay, once we receive your parcel back, you will receive your amount. The refund will be initiated or something like that. So this is durability, right? So I have explained you the asset property in form of transactions. Generally, it happens in the transaction form only, but still, if you want to explore, you can. Okay, so these are the 4 assets I told you. Dbms was a database, something which you are storing in your computers, right? But if you have to make it more organized, right? As I told you, you are just dumping the clothes in the cupboard. That's a different story altogether, right? But if I talk about, if I go ahead and talk about ki, okay, in your cupboard, you are organizing your clothes and putting it up. Or maybe your system, you are organizing, you are putting your charger somewhere, you are putting your goggles somewhere. So you are organizing the things and putting it across. So then it is called a relational database, Rdbms. And why Rdbms? Because it follows a tabular format. And why tabular format? Because it establishes a relationship between row and a column. So if I talk about in a relational data model, the data is organized into tables. That is rows and columns. So left to right, x-axis, sleeping line is your row. And vertical y-axis standing line is your column. These tables are called relations. One row, a row in a table represents a relationship among the set of values. And since a table is a collection of such relationships, it is generally referred to using the mathematical term relation, which is derived from the relational data model. So when I really go ahead with this, what I will make you understand the terminologies in Rdbms. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, great. Screen is visible. Okay, so let me go here and tell you about the Rdbms. So this is basically my database. So what I said, this is a database. All right. This is what I am telling. Okay, this is a database. Okay. But do you know what is a database called in Rdbms? It is called schema. It is called schema. It is another name. Then what I told you, it is a tabular form. What does that mean? That it has rows and columns, right? Okay. So hold on, I created this as a database. So inside a database will be a table. So this is a database. The second one is your table. So this is the table. Let me put it here. This is your table. Now what I said, table has rows and columns, right? So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me create this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So what am I saying? These are what? These are rows basically. This is a row. This is a row. This is a row. This is a row. So what are these called in your Rdbms? Rows are basically called, anybody who can tell me? It is called a record. R for rows and R for record. And when I talk about vertical things like this, going from up to down or down to up, these are known as columns. Okay. These are known as columns, and columns are called collections. Columns are called collections. Why are we learning these terminologies? Because this will be used in MySQL. Right? So that is the reason we are learning about these terminologies. Now see, relation, it defines the database relationship in the form of table. I told you, table means relation. Understood? Right? So basically what I said, these tables are called relations. So you can write this way also. Table, or here you can write, I'll write it with a different color. Tables are known as relations. This. What relation? I will say, okay, if this is say R1, this is R2, this is R3, so on. Same way if it is column 1, column 2, column 3. So it will be like row 2, third column. This place will be defined as row 2, third column. If I say, okay, this place, it will be column 1, row 3. So basically, this is a relationship between the two. Okay. Tuples, a single row of a table. So exactly same thing. Single row. This is a tuple, one row. Okay. All right. Then you have attributes. Attributes are individual piece of data in a record. What do you mean by that? This is called what? Suppose here apple is kept, it will be a attribute. If here mango is kept, then this will be an attribute. So that's what it is. Okay. Then you have degree. So degree, we'll not go too much into details. It's a foundation course. Your main work, what I would tell you is about SQL and all. So you can always explore this. Cardinality, it is the uniqueness of the column and the domain. So you can just check these and go through it. Okay. Now, what I wanted to tell you is here they have mentioned also examples of Rdbms are Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, and MySQL. So these are the ones which are commonly and most used ones. Right. Let me talk about the schema. I was telling you this database is called a schema, right? I have written here also. So what is schema? Schema is basically the structure, the way things are to be organized, right? So that is what we say. That is why we say, okay, it is a schema. And if you see, I was telling you the example of your registrar or anybody in your system. Okay, if view is means like this is a student view, you are maybe a teacher view is different, maybe a registrar view is different. So same data is there, but everybody can access, multiple users can access, and everybody has a different view to it, different access, different rights and all. Okay, now when I talk about Dbms versus Rdbms, so these are the basic difference. First is in the definition, in the acronym. Then see, it stores the data in the form of files. It stores the data in the form of tables. It is designed to handle small amount of data. Definitely, it handles vast amount of data. It provides support only for a single user at a time. This can do multiple users at a time. So these were the basic differences between the two. Now I will come to one more thing, which is called keys, which is one of the important things. But before that, so basically students, you know, what happens in this database, very, very important. And in fact, the most important thing is about the keys. Suppose you are going out of your house. What happens? You will try to lock the door. Correct? You will try to, basically specify ki, okay, we are secured enough. Okay, so this is why we use the keys in the database keys. It is important to specify that how rows in a relation are distinguished conceptually. Basically, rows are distinct from one another. And that is why we try to give them a key. So how many types of keys are there? There are total 8 types of keys. 3, 3 and 2 like this. And most important is the primary key and the foreign key. So I will only talk about primary key and foreign key. Rest of the keys, you can just go through the theory. Although I will tell you a little bit of it, we will see more of it in the live demo. Okay, so when I talk about a primary key, basically, if there is a given relation means table, okay, a set of one or more attributes having values that are unique within the relation, these are able to identify is known as a primary key. So very, very difficult it is, right? Again, we'll make it very simple. A primary key is a set of one or more attributes that can uniquely identify tuples within the relation. So what do you mean by that? Suppose I have given you a very complicated definition, how we will understand, right? So what we will do is we'll create one small table quickly or a relation, whatever you want to say. Say 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. And maybe I'm going to write here, say serial number. Here I'm going to write the name of the person. Here I'm going to write the age of the person. Here I'm going to write the city. And maybe here I'm going to talk about the salary. So see, name can be 2. 2 Lipikas can be there. 2 Ram can be there. Age also can be same. All students of your age, right? In your batch, all students are born in the same year, right? So age is same. City obviously is same for all of you. Salary or maybe percentage, maybe it happens that 10% students have same attendance or marks or whatever, or salary. What will uniquely identify each one is the serial number or a batch number. So what we do is we define it as a primary key. If you really talk about this, primary key is the one which makes the identification easier. What does that mean? Identification easier means what? Anybody who can tell me? Who like from a record of 1,000 of record, you can uniquely identify a record. Secondly, the second rule of primary key is it will never accept null values, never ever. You can't leave it empty. It will never accept. Okay, you can have the single primary key in a table. It will always be 1. If suppose there are hundreds of numbers written over here, say I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you have made this as a primary key, so this will be only the primary key. It will not happen ki 4 is also primary key, 1 is also primary key, 2 is also, no. Only one primary key in one table. right? That is what it means when I'm talking about a simple primary key. Okay, so what are the rules for defining a primary key? First, two rows can't have the same primary key value. It cannot have it. Second rule, it must for every row to have a primary key value. That means what? That the primary key field shouldn't be empty, shouldn't be null. And third and the most important thing is, once the value is created, once the primary key is given, then it can never be modified or updated. Primary key will remain primary key only. Right? Now, these are some simple keys. So suppose if I talk about composite key is primary key plus other keys is composite key. So it's like simple. Okay. Then alternate key. So other than primary key, what all keys are there? Those are alternate keys. Okay. Now I will talk about foreign key, because foreign and primary keys are the most important. Rest all you can go through it. So let me take you to this thing as well. Let me talk about the foreign. Let us try to understand it with a very simple example. See, foreign key, it is a column that creates a relationship between two tables. What I told you? Again, it is a key. It is a column that creates a relationship between two tables. So what is ma'am saying? I didn't get it. So let us try to create two tables. Okay. So one table is this. Okay. In this table, what will I do is I'm going to create, okay, say 1. Then I'm going to create 2. And then I'm going to create 3. Okay. And maybe 1 I will create it like this. Okay. This is my simple table. Now what will I do? I am going to write here. What am I going to write? I will write here, say department code. Okay. Let me make it small enough. Okay. So department code. And what is the department code I'm going to make? 001. Here I'm going to make it say 002. And here I'm going to make it say 003. This is my department code. Let me write here the department name. So I'm going to write here department name. And here I'm going to write, say, science. Here I'm going to write, say, okay, English. Sorry, English. And the next one I'm able to write is computer. Okay, just table number 1. This is my first table. I told you foreign key establishes a relation between two tables. So let me create another table now. Table number 2. Okay, so this is a table number 2. Right? So in this, what will I do? In this also, I will create same way 4 columns. 4 records. Let's talk in Rdbms style only. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And let me create some fields. So here I'm going to create 3 fields. Okay. So this is my thing. Now what will I do? Here I'm going to write, say here I'm going to write teacher ID. Okay. Fine. Here I'm going to write, say, F name. And here I'm going to write as L name, last name. Okay. So now what will happen? My teacher ID will be B002. Okay, fine. Here I'm going to write, say, B017. Okay, done. And then I'm going to write here, say, B009. Okay. And here I'm going to put the name, say, as what happened to this one. Okay. Here I'm going to write as Davis. Here I'm going to write as, say, Sarah. And here I'm going to write as Mike. Okay, please don't mind with this capital and small, please correct it. Okay, maybe I'll put here Warner. Here I'm going to put, say, Joseph. And here I'm going to put Brunton. Okay, so these are the two different tables. Now understand this very carefully. In this key, in DBMS example, we have how many tables? Two tables. Teacher and department in a school. And if you see, there is no way to see which search works in which department. See, there is no relation between the two. But this is a table of your school, right? Wherein the department code is given, the teacher IDs are given. You have to put these teachers according to the departments. Now what will you do? In this table, adding the foreign key in the department code to the teacher name, we can create a relationship between the two tables. I will repeat it again. If what I will do is, again, listen to it very carefully, adding the foreign key in the department code to the teacher name, we can create a relationship between the two tables. So what I will do, I will take this full table, this full field. Okay, can I make it in a marker mode or something? Yeah, brushes is there. This one, this full field, I am going to make it, and what will I do? I am going to place it in this table. And when I do this, I can create a relationship that this teacher is for science and this teacher is for so and so. So now let me create that final table for you. How we will do it? We will create the final table like this. In this, what will I do? I'm again going to create, say, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And this time, see, three fields are already there. This time I will create how many fields? 4. So field 1, field 2, field 3, and field 4. So here, what will I do? Here, let me write as it is. That is, can I copy and paste it to save the time? No. Okay, let me write here only. So, so let me write here only teacher ID. Okay, here it is as usual, which is B002. Then I'm going to write here, say, B017. Here I'm going to write, say, B009. Okay, and here are my F name. Here are my L name. Okay, so I'm not putting the names because you know what are the names. So I'm not putting the names. Name is Davis Warner, Sarah Joseph, and Mike Bruton. Now what I said, this department code has to be added here. So what I will do, this becomes the foreign key. Why? Because in this table, a foreigner is coming. In this table, an outsider is coming. In this table, an external is coming. So that is why it becomes a foreign key. So what is the foreign key? The foreign key is this one, right? This is my foreign key, that is department code. What is the department code? 001. Here the department code is 002 and here the department code is 003. So this foreign key has established a relationship between the two. How? Because you know department code is 001. So department code 001 means what is the department name? Science. So who will teach science? Teacher name Davis Warner will teach science subject. In the similar fashion, I will say, okay, B017 or okay, in the department number 2, English is taught. Which teacher will teach it? Let's do the vice versa question. So you will see, okay, the teacher ID is B0017. So you will go in this table and check who's in B017, which teacher name is there, whose name has been allocated. So you see, okay, Sarah Joseph. So you will say, okay, subject English will be taught by teacher Sarah Joseph. So this is a very beautiful example of a foreign key. And you know, this concept is known as referential integrity. So I will write it for you. This concept, which concept? Which I am making a reference between the things. Okay. So this concept is called referential integrity. Clear? Okay. And then you can read about the different keys. I will not put so much of time on it. These were the two main keys. In conclusion, just let's read about it. That Rdbms means Relational Database Management System. You know, it has so many benefits. We learnt about the difference between the two. Then we learnt about the schema and the relationship it has. We learnt about the keys which are there. And we actually learnt the primary key and the foreign key, which were the most important. Rest all you can read it. Now we will come to our third part. And here it is written, that is MySQL. Okay. So here, what is MySQL? Before that, I would like to first make you familiar with one, important thing. That is, okay, okay. We will not go too much into detail. Let's do it from here itself. Okay, so what is basically MySQL? I'm continuously telling MySQL. I told you to download it, install it, right? So basically, it is released under an open source license, right? It is open source means freely available. And this Rdbms, which we are talking about, that uses structured query language, SQL. Right? So basically, when I really talk about MySQL, the chief inventor of MySQL was Michel Widnius. It has been named after the Monty's daughter, Montica My. For Monty, they have taken MY. Okay. The logo of MySQL, the dolphin, that is named as Sakila. Okay. So this is what it is. Like if you see here, I will show it to you, MySQL workbench. When you will open your workbench, you see a dolphin sign. What is the name of this dolphin? Sakila. That's the name of the dolphin. Okay, so that is what it is. So basically, MySQL operates using client server architecture. Now, what do you mean by a client and a server? That you will learn in unit number 3, where I will tell you about HTML. Like what you see is the client side. What is happening at the back of the stage is server side. Okay. So that is why it is called client server architecture, in which the server runs on the machine containing the databases, and clients connect to the server over a network. Okay, so you don't have to go too much into detail. You just have to do one thing, that is I have already done with you, that how to install and go about it. Now what I will do is I will tell you about SQL. So what is basically, so you can just go through these, what are the features of MySQL, what are the benefits, all this is theory only. I don't want to put in these things. Let me come to SQL now. Okay, don't save it. All right, let me put SQL. The name itself is Structured Query Language. What is this structured query language? It is a set of commands that is recognized by nearly all Rdbms. Basically, it is a language. What is SQL? See, it's a language, structured query language. It is a language. Which kind of language? Structured, in which you ask queries. So that's what it is. Structured query language is a language that enables you to create and operate in the relational databases, right? And if you really talk about, it has very nice processing capabilities. Correct? What are the processing capabilities? The processing capabilities are these: DDL, DML, TCL, and TCL. These are the types of SQL command. Right? So let me quickly take you to all these. First, when I talk about DDL, it is basically data definition language. The result of compilation of DDL statements is a set of tables which are stored in a special file called data dictionary. So if you really talk about, DDL commands are what? These allow you to perform the task related to data definition. DDL. There it is. DDL. What are the tasks it allows? Create, alter, and drop. Basically, it is used to create, used to define, used to change, used to delete, alter the commands. All these comes into DDL. Right? Then I talk about DML, as the name suggests, manipulation. Basically, when you try to manipulate retrieval of the information, insertion of the new information, modification, very important, update, modify. So these are DML commands. Right? And generally, okay, I'll tell you the syntax later on. Just hold on. The third type of category is DCL. What is that? Basically, data control language. Grant and revoke. That means what? You have a permission to do this in this particular schema. Revoke is you have done something wrong. I am going to revoke this. I am going to take the rights from you. So giving the permission, admin user or not or no. So these are DCL. And last we have is TCL. Transaction control language. As you can see, it is already mentioned here. Transaction is one complete unit of work. What is complete unit of work? Preparing a report card. This is one transaction. Open student table, read from it. So it depends. If you see here, there are three things written: begin, commit, and rollback. Begin is it opens a transaction. Commit is if you have committed, it can never be like undo. Commit means commit. Once your transaction is done, suppose I'm not talking about simple example. If I'm talking about banking industry, if you have paid to somebody, then paid is paid. It is done. It is commit. Commit is like it will never happen back again. So that is what is commit transaction. Rollback. Rollback is in case there is a failure, then it will take you back to your home screen or something. So that's a rollback. So that is basically about the different types of commands. Right. Now, when I really talk about the SQL command syntax, which I really wanted to take you through, that I will tell you now. Right. So basically, when actually I was talking about this SQL, this provides a predefined set of commands that help us work on the relational databases. Now, how do you do it? They are understood using a keyword and the command. Right? So if I really talk about, if I have to do something, then what will I do? I will write it like this. How it is written? See, select. Select is a keyword. And command, what you want to select? You want to select a database. You want to select a table. So that is a command. So although you can write it anyway, but what I say is keyword has to be written in the capital format. And then value, you can say, okay, any table. So I'm going to say, okay, employee. Select employee plus after every query, you have to write a semicolon. What do you mean by a semicolon? It is a sentence terminator. Terminator means it has stopped. The line, like in English language, you have this, right? What happens? Full stop. So same thing, you have it over here as well. Correct. So this is a full stop for SQL. Generally, you have three major commands here. These three major commands are select, what you want to select, from, like from where you have to select, and where. Where is like a clause. If you know these three things, you know full SQL. Okay. So this is what it is. But you will say, okay, ma'am, we want to see how it works. So this these commands, I will show it to you, but I will show you in the live platform. I will show you both the ways, using the command line interface and using the workbench. Okay, so till here it is clear. Shall we proceed with the practical now? Language which you will be learning. Any field you go, if you know SQL, you are like, you are the base. Although it has become old fashioned, but yes, everywhere. If you are in data science field, anywhere, this is very, very important. So please go through this, read it very nicely. Now, before I begin and introduce you to the MySQL workbench, one more thing which I wanted to show it to you is the SQL data types. Very, very important. If I am able to see, yes. We will be using this. I will tell you how and where to use it. But these are the data types which SQL has. So char is character, varchar is variable character. Okay, then you have, basically for numeric thing, you have integer. Then you have float, boolean. Yeah, float is there. Float, which has a decimal point. So please be aware about it, like about the data types of it. Yes. So for MySQL, you should be knowing all these data types. Okay. So you don't have to learn all them, but you should be aware at least the basic ones. Okay. All right. So before I begin, first I will introduce you to the MySQL workbench. What is workbench? Basically, this SQL which you have established in your computer, it has a GUI version, graphical user interface, and that is workbench. Okay. Now what I have to do, I have to click on hello. Hello is my root user and I have my page over here. Right? Like this. Here I will be writing my queries. On the left hand side, you will have your schemas. See, here it is written schemas. So to understand this, you should know what is a schema. That's why we went into a little bit of theory as well. Right? And if you refresh it here, and the one which is bold, suppose you are working on Anna database. So the database on which you are working or the schema on which you are working, it will become bold. It will become dark. That means you are working on this particular database. If you click here, it has nothing to show as such. So it's like this. It has tables, it has faculties, it has columns. So it has only 2 columns. Okay. On the right hand side, you have the jump to, like you want to know how is a update command used. So the details about it. It's like a help button for you. Okay. It's like alter table. So all the details will be given to you. Okay. So I'm making you aware about the interface of MySQL workbench. And last is output. Like whatever you will execute, it will be shown over here. It will show the result. If you don't want this, you can remove it. See, these are 3 side panels. You can remove it. See, it has gone. You can remove this one also. It has gone. You can remove this one also. Only queries will be shown. Okay, but I want all of the things, so I am going to bring them back all together. Okay, now I will tell you how to write the queries over here, but I would first like you to tell it through the command line interface. Students, always remember, always, because you will be now into this field. Whenever you are learning something new, especially a language, especially a computer language, always try to learn it from the command line interface, the basics of it. How do we go about it? How to structure it? How to write it? Once you have learned it, then go to these, the online editors and, this GUIs and all those. Okay. So the base is always in the CLI, that is command line interface or CMD, command prompt. So first I'll teach you over there and then we will come back to our GUI, that is workbench. Okay. So take you to this thing where what will I do? I will write CMD or command prompt, whatever you want to open. It's opened in my system and now I'm not putting anything else. What is the first thing which we will do? First, we will start the MySQL server. How will you start? You will go to this PC. In this PC, you will go to C drive. In your C drive, you will go to program files. In my program files, go to MySQL. In MySQL, you will go to which one? Server. And in server, you will go to bin. Okay, so this one you have to, okay, this one you have to copy. Copy this path, come to your command prompt. In your command prompt, first you will write CD, change directory. If it was Linux, okay, first, okay, wait, hold on. First, let me copy and paste the path for you. Okay, then we will talk about it. What do you see? Backslash. Why? Because this is a Windows system. If same thing you will do it in your Linux, it will be a /. Okay. So you will copy and paste the path here and press enter. This will come like this. Now you will write MySQL -u root -p. That means user root password. Okay. Press enter. Now it is asking my password, which you have written over there while configuring. So please put your password here. Okay. It has started. Now I will start doing writing the commands, SQL commands. Okay. So what is the first command? The first command we will write is show databases. What I told you? Semicolon, mandatory. Press enter. How many databases are there? AnnaDB, Information Schema, LipikaDB, March, MySQL, Performance Schema, School. 7 rows, 7 databases. Right? Now what I will do? I will create a database. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to write create. What am I creating? Database. Now see. When you are writing in command line interface or when you are writing a CLI command, it is asking us to write database. And when you are writing in workbench, it is saying schema. So that is why both works. You should know both. Okay. So create a database. And now here I will write as Tamil Nadu. What I told you? Semicolon, sentence terminator, press enter. Query OK, 1 row affected. That means your your database is created. Let us see, is it created? Show databases. Press, put semicolon, press enter. Now what do you see? Here it was 7 rows, now it is 8 rows. Can you see Tamil Nadu has been created? Right? Clear? Okay. Now what I want to do, I have created 8 databases. I don't want so much. Then what should I do? I should delete the database. So for deleting, what is the command? For deleting, the command is drop. Drop. So now you will write here drop database, and maybe I'm going to drop the database of March. So basically drop is for delete, database is for the database, and the name of the database and the semicolon. Query okay, 1 row affected. Let us see, show databases, 7 rows. Let us delete this also, AnnaDB. Okay, let us do it. How will I do it? Same command, drop database, AnnaDB. Okay, let me see, show databases. Oh, spelling is wrong, sorry. Show databases. Yes. Understood? Now what I will do? I am going to use my database. Which database? Tamil Nadu database. In this, I'm going to create one table. Okay. So how will I create it? That I will show it to you. I will say use Tamil Nadu. Why use? Because you have created a database. But I am creating a table. But where? I have to tell the computer that I am going to create a table inside which database. So that is why I am writing use Tamil Nadu. That means use the database Tamil Nadu, put a semicolon, press enter. Database changed. Sorry for this. Database changed. Now I will start creating a table. Okay. Now look at this very carefully. How do we create a table? What will I do? I'm going to write here create table, and the name of the table will be employee. Bracket open, press enter. Now you will write the first column name. So my column name will be employee ID. And you have to declare its data type, which I was telling you over here. Oh, I think I have deleted it. Yeah, here it is. So employee ID is kind of a numeric value, number, numeric data type. Whatever you want, you can. I am going to take int. Okay, so that's what I'm going to write it over here. INT. Int means integer. Comma, my first column is done. Press enter, go to the next line. Now you will write first name. First name, if you are writing what kind of data type it is, obviously it is not a numeric. You can go here and check. You can take character also, but then it will be specified to 3 or 6 or whatever. So I am going to take varchar. That means it has a variable length. So that is why now I will write here varchar, say 35. You have to tell how many characters. Okay, comma. Then I'm going to write here, say last name. Again, the type varchar 34. You can write any number of your choice, comma, next line. And then I'm going to write here employee zone. Same thing, varchar 50, done. Whatever will be the last column, after that you will not place semicolon. Why? Because semicolon we will place it after the table ending. So you will press enter, come down, close the bracket, and now place the semicolon. Now press enter. Query okay, 0 rows affected. So that means your table is created. But I can't see the table. How will I know the table is created? So how do you see a table? What is the design or what is the style for it? DESC and then the table name. What is DESC in MySQL? Describe. Describe what? Describe the table. What is the name of the table? Employee. Now you will write like this. See, field, it has come. It is a column. So field type is the data type. Here come null. Null is your that yes, this is empty. Right now you haven't put any value here, right? Key I haven't specified. That's why it's showing like this. Default is null extra. So 4 rows in a set. That's how a table is shown. Clear? Right? This is how you perform the things in your command line interface. That's how you do it. You can perform simple calculations also. For example, I ask you to do. So I said select, and so many things I was telling you, right? So let us do it, not a problem. Let me write here select. I will write here 3.14 star 6 star 6 semicolon. That means to perform a simple calculation, we are selecting a keyword as select. So what you have to select? You have to select this 3.14 into 6 into 6. Press enter. This is my answer, 113.04. Suppose I want to know the system date. What will I do? Again, I am selecting something. Select car date. Semicolon. Okay, since we are using Tamil Nadu as this thing, that is why it is saying like this. So let me try it once again. Select car date. Yes. It is showing. Current date is 16/3/23. So this is how you actually write your simple queries in CMD. Clear? CMD is clear? Any doubt in this? Now I will go, sorry. You just have to go to your CMD, that is command line interface. Then you have to type CD space and the path. This is the path, the way I told you. Press enter. You will write here MySQL -u root -p. Press enter. Type your password here and done. Now you just have to write the simple queries of SQL. See, here will be some queries, right? Okay, see. Create is to create a table, create a database. Drop is to drop the table. Truncate is to truncate, rename the table. These are simple SQL commands, right? These commands we are trying to run it on the server. That's all we are doing. So show databases. This is how it is. I want to add a database, then you can write create database. And what is the database? Okay, let's create computer. Semicolon. Press enter. Okay. Now again, go here, show databases like this. Now 7 rows. See, computer has been created. You want to delete an item. So what is the command for delete? See, here it is DML command. We are talking about DDL command. So the name is drop. Deletes the table from the database. Okay, fine. You want to delete. Here we are not deleting table also. We are deleting the database itself. So you can just write here drop. What are we dropping? What are we dropping? Database and the name of the database. That is Tamil Nadu. Okay. Now you go here, see show data bases. It will be like this, 6 rows. Okay, I want to create something. So table can be created inside a database only. So you have to write here, use computer. That means you are using this database, use computer. Now we will create a table. So let me write here, create table. Then name of the table, say gadgets. Write this, go to the next line, give the first column name. First column name will be serial number. Give the data type integer, comma, go to the next line. Write the second column name, say brand. It is a character. So varchar, give the number of how many characters you need. So you can write say 35 characters. So that's what I have written, comma again. Now this is my last column. Okay. So I'm going to write here cost. What is the data type? Varchar, say 45 like this. Since it is my last column, I will not place a comma here. I will press enter, close the bracket. Which bracket? Which was opened over here, and then place a semicolon. Press enter. My query is okay. My table is created. Now I want to see my table, right? So the command for seeing the table, see if you have to see the table, somewhere it will be mentioned. I'm not sure. I think only DDL, DCL commands are there. That is why it's not there. You just see your this thing, SQL commands. You will have this describe and all. Just let me see if I can show it to you. SQL commands. See, all are there. Select, update, delete, this. All are there. There are more items. You can just click here, and if you go and explore, there are hundreds of, see, here you will have all of this, right? So you are just trying to use this. That's all we are doing here. Okay. So now I will do DESC. What is the name of my table? That is gadgets. And here is the table create. That's all I did. Okay. I know I was little fast, but since to save time, we have only, we'll go here, open this, go to this, put the password, and it is done. Okay. If you refresh here, can you see computer database is here? You click on this, it has a table. In the table, I have gadgets. In the gadgets, you have columns. In the columns, you have serial number, brand, and cost. See, everything is created. Okay, I want to drop this. Drop database. How do you write it? Drop database. The name of the database is computer. I want to remove this database. Same command I'm writing, the one which I wrote it over there. Okay, drop database computer like this. And this is the one where you will execute or run your query. Run. See, it has dropped. It has been removed. If you refresh, no computer database is there. right? Okay. And see here the action output. If you are getting a circle with a green this thing, that means your query is correct. That whatever you have written is correct. If you get a wrong this thing, that means you are doing something wrong. So now I will tell you a very nice and a simple way to learn the queries. How will you learn the queries, right? So to learn these queries, what we will do is we will adopt a very, very simple and a very, very nice way, shortcut. And now you will understand the use of GUI. Okay. So I will tell you how to create a database. So you will say, ma'am, okay, I know how to create a database. I'm going to write here, create database, right? Create database and give the name minion, right? Ma'am, I'm going to go here and I will write it, select this, execute it, and it's done. Okay, let us refresh. Oh, minion database is created, ma'am, I know. Okay, but what I want all of you to do is, I want you to learn a more simpler way. Why to write also, right? We will learn by doing it ulta. I mean the vice versa. Now look at this. Can you see these buttons at the top? Here, this one. See what it is written? Create a new schema in the connected server. So we will use this GUI now. Click on this. What do you see? New schema. Let us create a schema whose name is student DB, student database. Write the name of the schema. Schema means database, and click on apply. Click on OK. What do you see? The query is written by the SQL itself. Now I am not even writing the query. I've become so lazy. Now he will write, it will write. See, create schema student DB semicolon. Click on apply. Execute statement successfully. It is done. Click on finish. Okay. Click on refresh. And see, school database is created. Yeah, school schema is created. Now what I want to do? I want to create a table inside my school. There are two ways. First way is you click here. Sorry, you click here. In school, click on tables. Okay. So in this school, okay, we created school DB, not school. Okay. So here in this, there is nothing. You can just ignore this one. Yeah. And here, see here, you have to click, then you will double click, a table will come that you have to select. But we have to make life easier. So what we will do, we will go here. This was schema. Here, table, create a new table. Click on it. Okay, first you have to select the database. So student DB is my database. It has to become bold. That means you have used it. You remember we were writing there, use database. So that's what we have to do. Okay. Then when you click here, you will go from here. Or the best way is, the easier way is you can just directly click here and come. So the database is already there, right? Okay, database is there. Okay, yeah. Create a new table. Now in this table, what I will do, I will write the table name. Right? So what will be the table name? Table name will be, okay, let me put Tamil Nadu. If you want to write any comments, you can. Let's put the first column. What is my first column, dear? Let me write here, say student ID. See, student ID, automatically it has taken data type integer. Do you want to make a primary key? You can click on it. As soon as you click on primary key, see, not null is selected. That means it will never be empty. Then you will go to the next one. Here you will write student name. Automatically varchar. You want to select something else, you can. See, here is the data types available. If you don't want to keep 45, you can change it. You can make it 255. Okay, done. You don't want to make a key, but you don't want it empty also. So only not null. Okay, third column. Student name. Then I will write here the next thing as student age. So what do you think student age is? Student age is a integer value. Right? So again, make it int. You want to make it not null, fine. Even if nobody writes the age, it is okay. So let's not click on it. And last one, let's make it student city. Varchar. And this also I'm not making null. 4 columns I have created. Click on apply. Click on OK. What do you see here, students? Create table. The table name is Tamil Nadu. And before that, what has come? Schema. Now, I told you to write student ID and int. In the command line interface, I was telling you to write the column name and int. Where did not null come? Because I don't want this to be empty. So if you don't want, same way you can write this, not null. Student name, second column, varchar, the character not null. Student age, integer, null. Yes, it can have 0 value or a null value. And what do you see at the last? A primary key is also created. So that means you have defined that primary key is student ID. Out of these 4 columns, which I have told you, which I have explained you, or which I have asked you to create, this is my primary key. And then I will apply the changes. It is done successfully and click on finish. Now I will go over here, refresh the page. I will go to student DB, go to tables. In the tables, can you see Tamil Nadu? In Tamil Nadu, if you click here, see student ID, student name, student age, student city. Everything is visible here. Or if you want, you can run this way. Select star means full. Everything you have to select from studentdb.Tamil Nadu. Now you can keep on writing. You can start writing inside it. Student ID is 202. Student name is Ram. Student age is 14. Student city is, say, Chennai. Okay, go to the next one. Then you will write here 304 or 305. And maybe I'm going to write the name of Isaac. His age is 17 and he's also from Chennai. Okay, I will apply. See, what am I doing? I'm going to apply. That means which command has come? Insert into. Can you see this? That means this is the way you write the command. Insert into the database name, the table name, then the column names. After all the 4 columns, you have to write values, and this is how the command is executed. What I will do is I will copy one command. Okay, and let me apply the changes. click on finish. What do you see? It is done. Just refresh it and do it. Okay, just hold on. Okay. Oh, why have I opened Paint? Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I will go here, paste it, execute this. Okay, it is showing. Now I want to write the third one. Either you can click here and keep on doing it, right? Or the best way is now you know how to write a query, right? So what will I do? I will copy this command. Same thing. Okay, one command I will copy. And what will I do? I will write it here. Okay. So let me just show it to you. Insert into student DB, Tamil Nadu, student ID, student name, student age, student city. Now value. Value I will change it to 3. Okay. 603. Name instead of Isaac is, I will say, okay, Lipika. Okay. Then I will write here 23. And here I'm going to write city as Bangalore. Okay. Now I have not inserted here. I have written the query here. And what I will do, I am going to select this and click on execute. See, it is executed. Now I will go here, paste this. Now I will execute this. See, 603 Lipika, age 23, Bangalore. You have inserted a new value. Insert into. Right? This is what my command is. Insert. DML. You are doing a modification. See, insert into student roll number name values. Now, same thing, you can do it for update. Like, for example, Lipika is the wrong name. I have written a teacher's name here. Okay. So what will I do? I will remove teacher's name and maybe I will take whose name? Prasanna. Okay. So I want to update this name. Okay, no problem. You will write instead of insert into, you will write, say, update command. Okay. So can anybody write this? Okay. The way I have written insert into, suppose here I want to change the name from Lipika. I want to change it to Prasanna. By mistake, the name of teacher has been added here. I want to add student names. Okay. Yeah, alter table also you can do, but I'm just asking update. This is my insert into command. Now I have to write an update command. Update command. Anybody who can tell me how do we write an update command? Just try. Just try. So much I have taught you. Maybe one command, if you all can try, I'll be like, okay, you have learned something. Yes. Hmm. We are updating what? Here, okay, I'm going to write here, update Tamil Nadu. Okay, semicolon. Then I am going to set what? Student name. student. Please make sure the way it is written here, column name, it has to be the same. If you write small and capital, then it will not. Where student name equal to Lipika. You have to set like that, Lipika. So Lipika is already there. So what you have to set here, Prasanna, right? So I'm going to write here Prasanna. Set student name Prasanna. And then the next condition is where you are putting a condition also where student ID equal to 603 semicolon, right? But in this, it is showing cross. That means you will have to tell them student database. So please write that student DB dot Tamil Nadu. That's how we will write. Okay, yeah, see, semicolon will not come here because this will be the full query, right? So now I will select these three, execute, it is updated. See, now I will again put this Control C, Control V, select, execute. What happened? Instead of Lipika, who came? Prasanna. If you want to update something else also, so you can write comma student age. That way also you can update. So that's how you work in SQL Workbench, and that's how you write the queries. Instead of writing it here, first you do it from here. Learn to write the queries, the simple one. Once you do it, then go into the DML and so many things. Right? So these were the basics of your SQL. I think this I have covered. Both the ways we have learned how to write it in the command line, how to write it in Workbench. Both ways you know. Right? So I hope this is clear to you. Now we have the last 5 minutes. So you can ask me. Yes, yes. Set student name Prasanna, where student, yes, that way also you can do, Sandhya. Very nice. Very good. Hands on clap for Sandhya. Wonderful. Great students. Updating table, yes. Table